You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Welcome to another episode of Queen3 King, where we'll be discussing I Don't Need No Man. Yeah, they be serious. They be serious about that shit.
Well,
we will discuss it and see what the heck are they talking about. So again, welcome to another episode of Queen3 on this Tuesday, May the 10th of 2022. We will bring you our topic in the way that only we can do. But first, we will introduce our co-host, starting out of Atlanta, Texas, by way of East Garland, Texas, standing at 5'2 3/4 tall. Darling Nikki, Boney Maroney, Skinny Minnie, the Glamma herself with a new addition to her family, Mrs. Baby Noah. What up, Queen?
hey, family.
She ain't got no new t-shirts though, because that's look like one of Keegan's Puma t-shirts.
This is my early. Y'all don't know. Keegan don't like Puma.
And next, we go to the educator, recently out of her in Brodeo with Tulsa. She thought she was going to do some time behind that, but she only got probation. So
community service.
And how long is the probation?
That and the ankle monitor. Well, it depends on what the drug test. You know, she got to get tested every month. So
okay, that's right.
Depending on how much wine they find in her system,
Well, I'm out.
They can determine how many boxes a week she done went through.
Well, baby, she is in jail.
Yes. All the way in Tulsa.
Meba, TT, talk to the people.
Good evening, everybody.
Did you put your edges down? You got to miss Jane Pittman, little ponytail in the back, your little ball. Turn to the right again a little bit, so people
don't
can
turn,
see that.
Mika, don't turn.
Turn, because the only thing you're missing
stay
is just
strong. Don't turn.
The only thing you're missing is that shawl across your head.
Don't turn, Mika. Don't turn.
She gonna turn in a minute. I'm gonna freeze the camera. Look like her edges laying down a little bit better today too.
Move on. But look how he got closer like this.
Just missed.
And last but not least, the baby queen, formerly known as Blake's mama, Mama Lee, but now she is Bronx's mama.
Yikes.
Who's also, I'm gonna go ahead and give Bronx a little introduction, known as Red, Little Bobby. What's some other names? I done forgot. I had about 5 of them.
Spike.
And
BX, New York.
Yeah, New York. That was his first one for me.
Yeah.
Talk to the people, Queen.
Hello, everyone.
They didn't say nothing. So again, we are on BS3 Network. We're live on Roku TV. We need you to please, if you're watching on YouTube, please click the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Share with somebody, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Mm-hmm. If you comment in our chat room, which we already got some people commenting, please, before leaving a comment, please grant Restream permission to see your name on the chat, and I will momentarily copy and paste that into our chat so you can do that if you have not done so already. All right, and in the chat room already we got Justin Caraway, who's immediately coming on the thing saying shit. Probably talking about Mika Edges or either Nikki Puma shirt, one of the two.
Don't do that.
We got High Gorgeous Family. So Facebook user, I'm not sure who this is, but grant Restream permission, please.
Hey, family, whoever you are.
We got Mrs. Marita Mariels Oliver, being wife, in the chat room. So, hey, family. And we got CJ in the building saying, "What's good, everyone?" What's up, CJ?
Hey, CJ.
Got another Facebook user, not sure who that is. Again, grant restream permission so we can see your name. All right, so let's dive into this topic here for a second. So we all hear, probably more frequently than we'd care to. I know I'm speaking for myself when I say that. I don't need no man. So let's start with the seasoned queen and ask her that question. What do women mean when they say, I don't need no man?
I think that most women, when they say that, they have been hurt before. So that's why they say they don't need no man, or maybe been hurt multiple times and had a broken heart. And so they don't want to go through that again. And they just say, okay, I don't need no man. I can do bad all by myself. Holler. Okay.
All right. I hear you coming out the box strong today. Like Richard Earl. Now you coming out. Now I was gonna say you coming out like Richard Earl, but you coming out like Bobby Ray. That was the meme. That was the meme of the family. Bobby Ray once walked from Garland to Wiley to cuss his old job out. Was it from Garland to Rowlett? Okay, I thought it was
Garland to Rowlett, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, and you normally you would calm down on the way that long, but that joker was still mad by the time he get there.
We'll say, I'll walk to go beat them down. Or I'll walk to go
He meant that.
He did. All right. Mika, what do women mean when they say they don't need a man?
Can I look at it this way? What if they're saying they don't want a man? Sometimes people use that interchangeably.
Well, what they want.
Well, some women, I've seen some women really not want a man in their lives because, like you said, they've been hurt or they haven't met the right person or they don't believe love is for them. So maybe they don't want a man in
it. They're struggling with something?
They may be struggling.
Well, that's true, too.
What's up, Keisha? Welcome.
Hey, Keisha.
Okay. They may not want to. Lily, how you see it? What they talking about?
I have to agree with Nikki. I think a lot of time it comes from a place of hurt, but sometimes I think, and I also see it from this side, sometimes when they say they don't need a man, they're simply saying, some women mean I can take care of myself. I don't necessarily need to have a man or whatever. I know women that have said that. I'm not saying I agree with it. But I'm just saying that I think that's kind of where that comes from a place of hurt, but then also wanting to maintain their independence.
Okay, so before I go there, again, I often go last simply because I'm listening to see if there's something in your responses that sparks a secondary question for me. So you said you may not agree with it. So when they say that, do you agree with that position on a basic level? I don't need no man. So start with Mika. With Lily. No, we start with Lily. I just misspoke.
Okay. No, I do not agree with that. I think we all need a companion or somebody of the opposite sex or whatever that we're attracted to. I need a man.
Why? Just so we can get our rocks off or what?
Oh my. No, I think that when you find your person, that's special.
Speak for yourself. I'll just play.
Wow.
Oh my.
I'm probably gonna get off early.
No,
that's what I just said.
I think that it's special when you have your person. Like, I know sometimes I can be rah-rah and Brandon's the opposite, right? So having that person, I always want my man. I need my man. But a lot of people just look at that from a place of hurt.
Okay, Mika, you were shaking your head real early. I asked, did you agree with that from a basic standpoint? I don't need no man.
I need a man. I want a man. Gotta have a man. Gonna kiss him in the mouth.
Good, real good.
Yeah,
real good.
Yeah, because the plumber, I sent a plumber to Mika house a couple of weeks ago, and I saw him yesterday.
Oh my God!
Did he tell you? Did she tell you what he said?
Yes.
So I saw him yesterday. I had to go meet with him, and after he, commented on my truck and stuff like that, he goes, "So your sister that I went to a couple of weeks ago, is she married?" And I said, "No." He said, "She need to get a man so he can help her with this kind of stuff." I said, "Hell, that's why I called you." And I think, now I'm almost going to go and tell the Queen3 and audience they need to vote on this, because this is a white guy. But when I say he is one of the nicest dudes, funniest dudes, when I say cool, and y'all going to get the opportunity to meet him because I'm going to invite him to an event over here. He's so cool. But Mika, when she, knowing that he's a white dude, ain't going to give him no shot. So is she right or wrong about this?
What?
You're wrong, because I told her,
and I told her I was going to tell Brandon that she didn't like white boys. And
I got me a white man, and I like it. I like it.
That is the farthest from a white man.
Yeah, and Nikki used to date nothing but white boys.
Okay.
Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them, baby.
I'm okay.
All right, so Nikki, you answer that question from a basic level. Do you agree with them when they say, "I don't need no man"?
No, I don't. Actually, I don't agree with them at all. But to each his own, because like you say, you never know what their circumstances are, what their reason is behind why they don't want a man. So, but me personally, I'm like Alicia. I want my man, need him, gotta have him.
Yeah.
Period.
Wow.
Thank you, Keisha.
This fool said
Keisha,
Mika
it ain't
doesn't
always
want no
pink.
pink meat. Wow.
See?
It ain't always pink, sis.
CJ, earlier when you talk about the agreement standpoint, he goes, Lily's speaking facts. Keisha says, I think it comes from the world's view of attempting to show women that some men are weak. I believe that's why there are so many disrespectful ass women now. Wow. That's some heat right there.
Yeah, that's good, Keisha.
Yeah.
Glad you said
Come
it.
on, Keisha. Come on.
We got A-Trap in the building. What's up, my man?
What up,
Hey,
Coming from Built for This Network. He can be seen at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Built for This Network with the End of the Bench podcast. He was dropping some heat today regarding Roe versus Wade and some of the hidden agendas behind that bill. It's not just about abortion. So don't be fooled. And CJ says LMAO. Now Mika keeping it true. And Keisha, which last night she guest hosted with us on the forecast, and I exposed the Christian freak in her. And as she says, Lily, I'm aware. So she proves it again.
Go ahead, Keisha.
And CJ says, white, if he ain't black, he can't crack. Wow.
I'm offended, CJ. I'm offended.
All right. So for me, to answer this question, what do women mean when they say they don't need a man? It's a couple of different angles that I can come at this with. So I'm going to start with the spiritual angle, right? And answer the questions backwards. First, I talked about from a basic standpoint, do we agree? And, from a basic standpoint, I disagree, right? You need one unless he's the wrong one, right? You need a man, right? And a man needs a woman, right? So don't come on here, don't come at me, bro, talking about, well, men need women to, okay, it is obvious we do, right? And I can prove that to you. Because the Lord God said it is not good for the man to be alone. I will make him a helper suitable for him. Right. So again, that is basically saying that is one of your, for lack of better terms, right, roles, right, and maybe even responsibilities, right? So that man needs you, black woman, right? He needs you. Okay. So when you're operating inside of your calling, maybe that's where you get your fulfillment from.
Woo, say that again.
Okay.
Say that again.
Right? So that's why you need a man, because he needs you. You need a man so you can operate within your calling, and then you're going to get your fulfilling, right? So unless you start there, you ain't going to get nowhere, right?
Boy, you teaching. I'm about to speak in the spirit.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, bye.
And Keisha said, tell it, Doc. Yeah, you're right. I know, pass the basket. And then one of my buddies that went to church with Keisha and I and Ben and whatnot for quite some time, Gary Freeman. And I want to get him on. I actually tried to get him on today, but he had a scheduling conflict. But Gary, his last name is Freeman, and he has what's called philosophies, right? Instead of philosophy, it's a play on his last name and the word philosophy, because he's got philosophy. And I think he probably up to 200 and something. In fact, we were trying to talk him into going ahead and go with a book on it because he'd be dropping knowledge there. So he responded to this as soon as I posted it out there, and he says, please represent my position for me. And I said I'd be happy to do so. So I'm just going to read it verbatim, and I can't think of a better way to represent it than that. But before I do that, we are going to pause for station identification.
Oh.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
All right. So Gary says it's a default setting and a deflection tactic. As a default setting, it's a term that has been taken out of context and used in place of saying, I've had negative experiences in the past and now I'm apprehensive, or I haven't found the right one yet. The term stems from a more descriptive phrase that says, I don't need a man that has poor character or values. So he's kind of picking up on what Nikki said, bad experiences. And then he's saying they're just cutting it off, right? And saying, I don't need a man that has poor character or values, right? He says this includes lazy, broke, etc. This is a disinformation that has now been passed on for 3 generations now, very specific. This is a program that even Black fathers mistakenly code into our daughters, not to mention mama and big mama. It was meant to be a cautionary ploy, but has been cemented in our culture as a defense mechanism. God, dog, that is strong.
That's very true.
Right? It was meant to be a cautionary ploy, but has been cemented in our own culture as a defense mechanism. And I'm going to stop there and do a little interpreting for him. So basically what he's saying is that it was meant to say, look, you don't need a man. That was meant as an encouragement to say, you can do it by yourself. Don't be discouraged by the fact that you don't have a man. I don't mean you don't need a man in the literal, basic, primal, premortal sense. I'm saying if you happen to not have one, you can still make it. That's what they're trying to say, not the fact that you just don't need a man on a basic level, right? Okay, so again, it's been cemented in our culture as a defense mechanism. In truth, no one needs a partner that is worthless. Unfortunately, imperfect is now synonymous to worthless. I'm going to say that again. He goes, unfortunately, imperfect is now synonymous to worthless. So we are finding imperfect people and taking away all of their value, right? As opposed to saying, look, they're imperfect. I'm imperfect. He's imperfect. She's imperfect. We're all imperfect, right? Now you got to find an imperfection that suits you. Okay. We were meant to be in pairs. It's what God intended, which is one of the scriptures I referred to. And to go against that is to disrupt the natural order of his intention. Men and women are made differently, with each having their own unique gifts that are meant to complement one another. This is the design. Income and vibrators can only comfort you for so long. And at some point, some true masculine energy, some true masculine energy should be introduced to balance the natural feminine energy. So he came hard. He goes, look, vibrators in your income, your good job, sister. I got it all, my own stuff. I pay my own bills. I got my own house. So, and you got that funky rose in that top drawer too, smelling like 3-day-old shrimp. But that can only comfort you for so long. And at some point, true masculine energy should be introduced to balance the natural feminine energy. And he goes, I'm not referring to sex, but the protection, provision, and priesthood that the male companion offers.
Right.
Okay, so he's dropping it. And then he goes, and as a deflection point, the words are often used to relieve the speaker of all accountability. They're saying that so they're not going to be held accountable. I don't need no man, so now I'm not held accountable. I don't have one because I don't need one, instead of I don't have one because there are some flaws that I have to that I have that do not make me desirable. Unchecked spending habits, anger issues, inability to be affectionate or uncooperative. These issues seem to be overlooked or excused regardless of origins. This always leads to the assumption that men are the reason that Black relationships fail. So again, sometimes it's just I'm working on me and I got these issues and I'm just not going to say that. It's easier for me to say I don't need no man when the truth of the matter is your shit jacked up, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on what Mr. Freeman had to say? Because that's a whole bunch of philosophy.
Preach.
Absolutely. Like you said, I think it's deflection, because if you say I want a man, but you have to explain why do you feel like you don't have a man, or why have you taken care of the issues that you feel like you may have? So some women may feel like they don't have any issues, and that's an excuse. Or some women may feel like I don't have to explain to you why I don't want a man, and it's just easier for me to say, hey, I don't want him.
All right. Some more comments. You got y'all mama in the house. Hey, family.
Hey.
Love y'all. Mama.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, mommy.
Yeah, we know who you are. When they said Wilma Pierce, you didn't have to put the
Don't
mama
do that.
part.
We're not gonna do that.
We define. I guess there'd be a Harvey. And I appreciate you there, Bill. You was on last night too. And Bill wasn't being nice last night, so hopefully he'll behave today. He goes, we definitely need women. They have the money and all the cookies. See, he already. All of it, Bill. Let's see. H-Rap said this guy. Okay. We got Theodora Hopper in the house. Hey, King and Queens. What's going on, Miss Hopper?
Hello.
All right. And Keisha says, Gary little ass doesn't meet the height requirements, but he does be dropping knowledge, though. Talking about Gary Free.
Yeah, because she gonna cut up, okay? She gonna cut up.
Justin said all facts, right on. H-Rap said 3-0.
3-0. He correct.
3-0. Okay. Yeah, 3-0. That's exactly what it spelled like. All right, Theodora said hi again. So wait a minute. Let me just. Okay. All right. So cool. Oh, CJ want to talk to my mama again through here. Talking about, hey,
mama, alone, CJ.
Right.
Let her alone.
Right. Okay, so we said that it's a deflection tactic. We said that it's taking out of context, et cetera. So is this something that's going to be changing anytime soon, Nikki? Do you think this is something that's going to be changing anytime soon? So there's a lot of conversation that's going on within our community about the relationship between men and women. And when I say the relationship, I mean the relationship as a whole, not as individual relationships. So do you think this is going to be changing anytime soon?
And I don't think it is.
Okay.
And because I think that in order for it to change, people have to look at their individual selves and see why they don't need a man, and such as, so on and so forth. But they need to take accountability if it is them, and if it is, get whatever help they need to be able to be with a man and understand it, what a relationship is. Because a lot of people don't think that they should just give in a relationship, and the other person doesn't have to. So it's just a lot of factors there where I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
All right, Mika, you think this is going to change anytime soon, or we just doing a lot of talking?
Have y'all seen that generation behind us?
Ooh,
yeah.
They give no F's.
None. And when I say they're gonna do what they want to do, and I think it gets worse with them. So I don't think it's gonna change anytime soon unless our generation shows them it's okay to need and want a man. So I think we have to speak to that and speak to them, saying, and just show them that's fine. If you want a man, get your man. If you don't be disrespectful. Do your thing. You don't have to discourage others to do it. Like Alicia said, I think having a man is super healthy, and it's and it's good for you. And like you said, it compliments you. It brings out the best in you. So I don't know if this generation behind us sees it that way.
Okay, y'all let us know your thoughts in the chat room as well. Lily, you comment on that. Is this changing anytime soon? Or are we just popping off at the mouth talking because it sounds good?
No, I don't think it's going to change anytime soon until we change the narrative of it. So as soon as we get hurt or somebody is hurt in a relationship, a girl gonna say, girl, you don't need him. That's the first thing we say, girl, you don't need him. That's the first thing that comes out of your mouth when you having that girl talk. But we have to change the narrative of that. He may not be the right one for her. Right. Or we can tailor it to that way, but we can't. I can't agree with saying you don't need a man.
Yeah. Justin said it's not going to happen. And for me, one of the things that I've always said coming out of a relationship, where I try to always do, is not necessarily put it on them, and just say, hey, it just didn't work out,
Right.
she's cool, she's got these qualities, et cetera, et cetera. It just didn't work out for us, H-Rap says exactly, stop allowing the streets to raise our children expecting indoor behavior and morality. Okay, so how about this? Okay, so I don't need no man, but everything you do in terms of dress, in terms of developing your career, in terms of a whole bunch of stuff, right? Whether it be the eyelashes, whether it be the whatever, you're trying to get male validation. So you may not need no man, but do you need male validation? Mika, start with you. Is it male validation that they seeking? But I don't need the man. I just need his approval.
How can you have male validation without having a man?
Right.
Because it's these men at the gas station, at these men at Walmart, and these men at the job, et cetera, et cetera.
Hey, miss.
Yeah, no.
Because see, there's a debate there, right? There's a debate there, right? That, why women get dressed up, right? Just to, put it calmly, right? And Justin says it too, the likes on IG, who we doing it for? There's a debate there. Who are they doing it for? Are you doing it for other women? Or are you doing it for male validation?
Why can't you do it for yourself? In my opinion, like,
how often do you think that's the case? Being honest.
Not often.
Got him, coach.
You didn't have to give me. That's how homeboy.
So,
huh?
I said that's true though. That most of the time it is to try to attract a man.
Oh, absolutely. How many thirst traps do you see a day as you scroll your timeline?
Yeah.
Okay, so I immediately get to picture this bobcat that's caught in this leg trap in the woods, and thinking to myself, I done been caught in thirst traps before. Anyway,
that was dumb.
Keisha says,
that, brother.
Right on, Mika. Sadly, a lot of women are making their sons their man. Some of these poor men don't stand a chance. Shit, I'm looking forward to my man. Hell, I'm tired of taking out the garbage.
Me too.
Okay,
I did it before this podcast.
So Mika, talk about that for a second. How do you feel about that statement? That I don't need a man because I'm making my son my man.
It's true. Unfortunately, women try to. Sometimes when you have sons, you try to make them your man. You try to take out on them exactly what's happened to you. You also try to make them do what their dads didn't, unfortunately. So I've seen that happen. Or, how you'll have a man that puts their, a man that puts their mother first because that's all he's known. And she's trained him, for lack of better terms, to be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, just a couple of more comments, and then we're going to get to Sybil Wilkes to tell you exactly what you need to know for today. Justin says it's been this way since the beginning of time. Mayhem Wilkes says, I don't think it's changing anytime soon.
Yeah.
Most people's minds are made up when it comes to this discussion or conversation. Oh, and that's a huge comment right there.
Yeah.
When you say their minds are made up, and that's a huge problem right there, right? CJ said, "Doc, you stupid, man." And let's see, Donald Durham. What's up, Donald? Say, I agree. I think it's to make themselves feel better. All right, we'll pick back up with this conversation in just a moment. But first, let's go to Sybil Wilkes on what you need to know.
Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Tuesday, May 10th, 2022. And happy primary election day in the states of West Virginia and Nebraska. Number 1, since the enhanced child tax credit expired 5 months ago, millions of American parents have been trying to navigate their way through the pandemic without the monthly payments. Now, Robert Rubin and Jacob Lew, 2 former Treasury secretaries, are calling for making the child tax credit permanently available to families with little to no income. Rubin and Lew estimated if the current $2,000 per child tax credit were made fully refundable, it would reduce child poverty by 20%. Number 2. Frank James, the man accused of opening fire on a Brooklyn subway train last month, has been indicted on 2 federal counts. According to an indictment filed Friday, James was indicted on 1 count of terrorist attack and other violence against a mass transportation system and 1 count of discharging a firearm during a crime of violence. This mass shooting left 10 people with gunshot wounds and 19 others injured. Number 3. As more companies mandate a return to the office, workers must readjust to pre-pandemic rituals like long commutes, juggling childcare, and physically interacting with colleagues. For example, spending more time with your colleagues could increase exposure to the coronavirus, while inflation has increased costs for meals and commuting. According to a recent poll, 41% of returned workers say the amount of stress they experience has also worsened. Number 4. A black man left pro-abortion protesters speechless when he confronted them outside a medical clinic and asked them a question. He asked if the black babies killed in the abortion clinics matter, and the protesters went silent. The video garnered more than 1 million views in just a matter of hours as pro-life advocates celebrate the possibility of the Supreme Court ruling against Roe v. Wade. Number 5. During retirement, the tax burden can become quite complex. Without a proper strategy, you could be paying thousands that you don't have to. There are many moving parts when planning and maintaining your retirement income. Learn some tips in today's newsletter brought to you by Texas CPA Katrina M. Kraft. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Things are going to happen when they're supposed to happen. Be patient with time. Okay. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with the one and only comedian Damon Williams and contributor Cameron Riley as we discuss today's top headlines and more. In honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, we are partnering with the Public Welfare Foundation to give away $500. For more information and how to sign up, go to my Instagram at Sybil Wilkes for more information. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the American Heart Association. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
Thank you, Sybil. Thank you. She said that it's not just white people anymore because that black man opened fire.
See?
Damn.
Oh, wow. And I know folks is freaking out about your stock portfolio. Relax. It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
And they're returning back to work after COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
It's real. It's real.
That's probably, it's either that or the gas prices why he shot them folks anyway.
Probably both.
They better be glad Bobby ran around no more with these gas prices like that. All right, so we're going to pause for station identification, and then we'll get into the streets you're talking.
BS3 Network is now on Roku TV under BS3 TV.
The streets are talking.
Mika done got lazy with her dances.
Yeah, she wasn't doing it. She wasn't on it today.
Yeah, lazy.
Next week.
All right, go ahead and bring up one of the most hated men that has now passed on, Mr. Kevin Samuels.
That's sad.
So very, very sad story. At the age of 57, Kevin Samuels has passed away. I know a lot of people had a lot to say when this happened, of course, about his lives and what he talked about in his lives and how he handled women, quote unquote. But some people suspected that there was foul play. So I thought this was kind of crazy anyway when I heard it. But when it first came out, they said he was with the girl. They were like, oh, that woman did something to him. Like, there ain't no way that he's with the woman and this happens, right? So the 911 call was released yesterday. I don't know if you guys got to hear it, but she was very frantic. So people are like, this is genuinely a woman that was trying to save his life. She would identify herself as a nurse. So she was a nurse. And she said that
she
he
must
had
have just been an LVN instead of an RN, and she couldn't do nothing. Yeah.
Stop, Tig.
But she was
Don't
really
do
freaking
that.
out on it. She was really freaking out though on the
She
video.
was, yeah, she was freaking out.
I
Like she was
listen
like,
to it.
she told him, she was like, this is Kevin effing Samuels. Get somebody here now.
Wow. She shouldn't have said that then.
She did. And
The
911 operator said, I'm aware, ma'am. She was very like nonchalant, like, okay.
Wow.
But she just said that he had an irregular rhythm. He was turning blue. So she was like called down to the desk, I guess, of his apartment. At first she didn't know if it was an apartment or house. And they were like, ma'am, are you in an apartment or house? She was like, I don't know. Just get me somebody here. They were like, are you in an apartment or a house? So after they got through that,
what city was this?
Atlanta.
Yeah. And she basically told them that he was turning blue. She knew it was something with the heart because I guess he was kind of clenching at his chest. And she kept telling him, stay with me, Kevin. Think about your mom. Think about your daughter. But she was like, he doesn't look good. He doesn't look good. But she was super frantic during the whole call. And a lot of people were saying at first that they thought it was foul play. She was asking the 911 operator to contact the front desk, I guess, of his apartments to see if they had an AED available because he needed something quick. So super sad that all the way around his mom had to find out on social media because we're a social media society. We're going to post whoever found out. They were like, hey, I don't know if y'all know yet, but we just got Kevin Samuels' body in. And that's pretty much how his mama found out because they tweeted that and the tweet kind of took off. So super sad that you have to find out stuff nowadays like that. But
it ought to be something illegal about that, shouldn't it? If you're in a public,
if they can identify who
like
it is, because that's a HIPAA violation.
Office like that,
that's a HIPAA violation. So if they can identify who it is, I would think there would be some type of consequence behind it. And a lot of people, I see CJ's comment, a lot of people are saying that we don't really know. Nothing has been confirmed. His mom was pretty tight-lipped on the cause of death when they spoke to her about it. So a lot of people are also speculating that he took something to perform in the bed with the young lady. And that affected his heart and in turn had a heart attack. So
they said that they were going to do an autopsy on him.
Yeah, so an autopsy will be done to kind of make sure they confirm. And I'm sure we'll hear about it at that time because at that time, you know, that's public information. They're going to definitely put that out.
So
thoughts?
Yeah, what's this I'm hearing about? And Justin says I'll be addressing this topic on Elevate, so that'll be Thursday at 7:00. What's the situation I hear about? Well, first of all, let me say this before I ask this question. This stupid dude. No, hold on. This is the comment that I was trying to put.
I know where you're going.
Y'all don't know Civil.
I saw that.
Civil.
Yeah, because we played that Civil War. He told me, y'all don't know Civil. So he said, what is this I'm hearing about? She big or something like that. Like, what this got to do with?
Okay, so a lot of people are saying she's thick, right? And he had so much to say about thicker women on his live. So some girl be like, I'm 5'3". He'd be like, how much you weigh? And then she'll be like 200 pounds. You're fat. Like that would be his response.
Right, yeah.
Well, first of all, ma'am, you're fat.
Well, no, this is what he's saying.
That's what he be saying.
They'll say,
some of his lives, yes, he did.
But here's the deal. You got to understand the whole premise of the show was, or what the people who were calling in asking his advice, or do I qualify for a high value man? Yeah. And even though there's a few different factors to determine what a high value man is, one of the main factors is that they are six-figure earners. So they make over $100,000 a year. And he was trying to explain to them that's less than 10% of the men. So if you want a high value man, you got to have something that a high value man wants. So that's why he would be asking them about you know, their appearance, right? And so, you know, they'll call and say, okay, how tall are you? I'm 5'6". Well, how much do you weigh? 175. What's your dress size? Oh, a size 3. He say, ma'am.
At 175.
Yeah, that's exactly, ma'am.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask
not
you one
a
more
size
time.
3 at the or
Or
a
he'd be
size
like,
6 at this. He goes, you're more like a 10, 12, ain't you?
or he'll be
Well,
like, I'm gonna hang
some
up
of
on
them, it
your
depends
ass.
on how they made, you know, whatever. So he would be clowning them on that kind of stuff. Now, I told folks that just because he was talking about them in terms of whether they qualify for a high value man or not, and he was talking in generalities of what the average high value man wants. I don't think he ever said, I don't like thick women, or I don't like big. He never said he don't like them.
That may be why he was asking about the size.
He was just simply talking to them in terms of what a high value man will generally want.
I don't think he necessarily just said I don't like a thick woman, or
He
I
never
don't like
said
thick
that.
women.
I think he does.
Just the way he said it would people like, oh, you calling her fat, so you don't like fat people? You know, they automatically just say, oh, you told us that she fat. You don't like fat people, or you have something against fat people. That type of thing.
And that's the problem. You know, folks was listening to how he said what he said instead of what he said.
But here it is. I didn't agree with half the stuff he said. Anyway, I mean, with majority of the things that he had said, but it was also the delivery. You don't have to call somebody fat. Man, what size do you wear? Man, what do you look like? And you know, he was like, you're average looking, so you're gonna get an average looking man. Like, you don't have to deliver it like that.
Right.
Even though
it was
why not?
But it was entertaining. To me, it was entertaining because y'all kept calling in. Y'all kept calling in to this man.
It was entertaining, but I mean, you're not gonna catch me calling in.
But what did Mama always just tell us about doing stuff like, you know, about stuff like that? If you got, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
So
but
it's the delivery.
But again,
and, you know, and I didn't like the way he did it, and I listened to him a few times, but I didn't like the way people celebrated this man's death.
Yeah,
right.
that's
You don't celebrate anybody's death.
Yeah.
So even if you don't agree with somebody, agree to disagree, don't comment at all. Because some of the comments was like, gone to glory. I wonder if they got fat women in heaven. Like, it was a lie. You're like, okay, it's too much.
And I'm gonna answer that question. No, they don't, because all women in heaven is fine.
And did he go to OU back in the day?
I don't know.
He's from Oklahoma.
Well, I don't know a lot about him.
I don't
never watched his show until I just found out everything because one of my friends said that she went to school with him.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I was thinking that it was OU because of that's where she's from, is Oklahoma too. So I didn't know how she knew him.
I watched him more times than I want to admit that I did, because it was entertaining to me.
I did
like,
too.
It was funny to me, just the way, because I'm like, y'all keep calling him and y'all already know how he is, so you can't get offended.
Yeah, they knew what his questions were going to be early, and he would tell them, well, you know what I'm going to ask.
You knew that he was very blunt, and he was going to tell it just like he thought it was.
And I would love it when he was like, okay, let's go. Like, that's when he would flip on them, because they would be trying him.
Well,
some would just be on there.
Because some of them be like, you ain't even cute. He'd be like, oh, I'm not cute? Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you what one of the problems I saw with it, as far as diet is concerned. He would be cranking in Red Bulls like they were one at a time.
And
that ain't good for your heart. You know?
And taking something with it, you don't.
So you just that alone. And if she was big and she was on top, that probably okay. Keisha said.
Let's go.
I'm not.
You can't do that, man. Put her on the edge of the bed. Keisha says.
Keep going.
That fool said put her on the edge of the
bed. So you get some of that leverage off of you, boy.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Keisha said, I heard some joker saying, we see it with a big woman. He's holding it down for the police. Ain't that some shit? I said that last
I was about to say, that was
I said, you see me with a big woman, I'm holding it for the police.
Yeah.
Or she gonna be on the edge of the bed.
But y'all, can y'all imagine how traumatic that is for her? Like, I know she got to be scarred for life. Like, woo, Lord,
that was a whole like Color Purple situation.
I'm telling you, like, that's crazy.
God, I would have. Oh my God.
Mika, we know you would have been right next to him.
Yeah.
CJ,
Go on the board.
CJ said, man, he took that honey pack or whatever he took. It was way too strong for him. My man's died mid-stroke. Okay, man, bye.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
God.
I'm gonna have to start.
Screening.
Let's
Please
see.
comment.
Bia said clearly he was saving the thick ones for himself.
okay.
Let's see. Now he's gone. The thick ladies. I'm him. Wow.
Oh, dang.
Let's see. CJ said, yep, he did, and he's a Kappa. Justin said, yes, he did. I guess they're answering your OU question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from Oklahoma, y'all. I think that's what they said.
Let's see. Bia said, now he gone, and thick ladies, I'm here. Bia Harvey loves you. I got plenty of Snickers and pizza. Wow.
Dang.
What's up, hey, Linda?
Hey, Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Okay.
Oh,
how
my
did he
God.
die?
Boy,
On
you
top
doing
of me.
snorting?
Oh, my
Just all of them quote color
Oh
purple.
my
Man.
God.
Because when somebody told me that, I said, nah, somebody lying.
I didn't believe it when it first broke. I didn't believe it because people will kill people real quick.
Sure will.
So I was like, I didn't believe it. But once his mom confirmed, I was like, yikes.
Yeah, that's really
That's
nasty.
sad.
And when they asked her his cause of death, she didn't say anything. So
You know.
she knows, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. You ready for the next one?
Yeah, next story. So Chris Paul, I know that I hope the Mavericks enjoyed their 2-game winning streak because he is about
He's about to go.
he is about to kill us because y'all messed with the wrong one.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all messed with the wrong one.
This 16-year-old white boy done cost us this series.
I'm telling you, because he up there touching on his wife, trying to hug on his wife, doing too
His
much.
mama.
His
I thought it was his mama.
and his wife.
Really? I didn't hear it was his wife. I heard it was
his wife and his
wife
mom.
and his mom.
So, and somebody allegedly pushed his wife.
Yeah, that's what they
said. He tweeted during the game, so you know he fouled out. They said, "Oh, boy was over there tweeting on the bench because he was hot." Want to find players for saying stuff to the fans, but fans can put their hand on our families. F that. And he was super upset. If you saw at the end of the game, that you know how they going around and showing the different players. He was talking to a security guard, talking about he put his hand on my family, he put his hand on my wife. So the consequence of that fan's action, they're banned until 2023.
Yeah,
so
which ain't nothing. Come on.
And I said that's nothing because that's when the next basketball season get hype anyway. So in January.
So a term that's being thrown around with this situation is affluenza, right? Which if y'all remember, that's the rich kid. I can't remember what city it was where he did something. That was his defense, you know, which means I'm so rich, I'm stupid. I guess is what he's trying to say.
What about if one of our sons did it?
Exactly.
They're
gonna call it broke-fluenza.
For life.
Yes. And that's what they said, that his wife was sitting there and it was fans that were like, "Oh, you Chris Paul's wife," and tried to give her unwanted hugs. And she kept telling people, "Stop, don't touch me, like don't touch me." But they continued to do it. Their kids were there, his mom was there. They were all being taunted the whole game. They couldn't even enjoy the game and things like that. So he was pretty hot. But he told the dude, he's 16 and all, he told him, he said, "I'm gonna see you."
Yeah.
So Chris Paul wants all the smoke, and the Mavericks are about to get it because y'all will mess with that man's family.
Y'all got about 42 more minutes left, so he get y'all ass, Mavericks. Don Leesdale bring up a good point right here when he says, "I would beat up everybody in them stands." If you have not seen, I think it's on Netflix, the documentary about the Malice in the Palace, and this is when NBA players got into it with fans and how bad that was, and that's what you're leading to. And see, a lot of people don't understand that basketball, out of all the other sports, is the one where you got the fans literally on top of you, so close, right? Hockey is played in the same arena, but you got the glass up that's separating those, right? Plexiglass. Baseball, you're further away from the field. In football, of course, you're separated, by the bench, and then there's area behind the bench, et cetera, et cetera. So basketball is really can get dangerous for these fans. And after COVID, they said the number of fan involved incidents has increased threefold from what it used to be pre-COVID. They like, we don't know
they
what
ain't
the
been
hell
nowhere
it
in
is.
2 years.
Yes, and they get out there and they get drunk and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Throw beer. Oh,
so
yeah.
let's
So
see.
so he's pretty upset, but I think it sparked a lot of conversation regarding should fans be fined when they do stuff like that to NBA players, and I think they should. They should.
Well, see, it should
start
be
doing something else besides banning them from games, because that's nothing.
Yeah, well, it should be. I don't think a fine is going to. I mean, criminal charges and whatever results from that, right? Because technically, you could argue that is assault. To be perfectly honest with you, let's see. CJ said it makes no sense for you to have all that money just to act a damn fool and be escorted out by security. Some other people were saying too, and again, I don't know for a fact if he was 16 or 18. There's some conflicting reports.
He looks really young.
But a lot of people around there said he was inebriated. So they're like, they think his mama was buying, alcohol and giving it to him. Now back in the day.
Whoever he was with was trying to hurry up and get him up out of there.
Yeah, because back in the day, it was legal for parents to give their kids alcoholic beverages if they were in their presence, even if they were underage, right? Which Nikki know that because her papa used to take her to the cafe in Oak Cliff. But I think that law has changed since then, from what I know. But yeah, they said that he was probably drinking. Let's see. Bill said, I would have gone in the stands and let that fool be Jesus. Okay. Lily. All right. Hang on. Justin says, bet their ass on the court with the players for 3 minutes. All right. Thank you, Lily. We'll get back into this topic. The streets are talking. And let's see. You're out. All right. Lily had to go tend to baby Bronx. He was cutting up back there, so we had to go let her look at him. All right, so we're gonna wrap this topic up here. We got about 8 minutes left, so let's go ahead and just jump in. Okay, hold on. Justin is okay. No, he didn't. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and give final thoughts with regard to this topic. Again, we have brought up some very interesting points with regard to it. We talked about it being a default setting, a deflection tactic. They are speaking from a perspective of hurt. I don't know if we've used the word healing, but we probably should have, because
healing in what way?
They are unhealed individuals, right? So they're speaking from a perspective of hurt without healing. Right. There's a saying out there, right? Old folks used to say a hurt dog a holler.
That's
right. So, when you're dealing with hurt, it'll cause you to run off at the mouth and say a whole bunch of stuff that you probably need to keep to yourself, So again, I think healing is a piece of that. We've talked to in terms of society and what society has done in terms of putting their own spin on this, in terms of our culture. Again, as Gary said, it was meant to be a cautionary ploy, but has been cemented in our culture as a defense mechanism. So again, I don't need no man. Final thoughts. What is this all about? What do you have to say to our viewers in terms of how they can learn from this, how they need to respond to this, et cetera, et cetera? And Nikki, we'll start with you.
If somebody what I would say is, if someone, a friend of mine or a family member or somebody, or asked me about a past relationship or something like that, I would just, and then I know that it's coming from a place of hurt, then I feel like it's our responsibility as a family member, as a friend, to just talk to them about forgiveness, because let them know that forgiveness is not for them. It's not for the other people. It's for them, that they need to actually be healed from what's going on from past relationships, because it's not going to do any good to just hold a grudge. So just always just remember that forgiveness is not for the other person. It's not for the other person, it's for you. So I think that's very important that we learn to forgive, because once you forgive, I think that would be a lot better, and you'll be able to deal with a relationship, because not all men are bad and not all women are bad. Just because you've been hurt by somebody, you're not the only person that has been hurt. So just think about that. Right. And also, I wanted to thank you guys again for always supporting us every single time we're on this podcast. You guys take time out of your schedule to join us, and I really appreciate that. We all really appreciate that. I know I can say that for all of us, but we appreciate y'all, and we hope that you guys continue to support us, and tell some of your friends and families to tune in as well.
Okay, and May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Yes. Anything you want to tell them about Keegan's Place, or a way they can contribute or bring more awareness for Mental Health Awareness Month?
Yes, I have the web on Keegan's Place. If you go to Keegan's Place on Facebook, you can donate there for Keegan, to Keegan's Place. And also, if you would just like to sign up, and if you go to to Kroger's site, or not their site, but to the store, you can sign up to have a percentage of whatever you pay will be for your groceries and stuff. They'll give a percentage to Keegan's Place, as well as Tum Thum and Albertson.
Will they give a percentage of your alcohol sales to?
No, boy, I don't know about that. Well, yeah, they might. They might.
That's part of your groceries.
Yeah, they might. But yeah,
Kroger got some good wine.
Yeah, so y'all, Kroger and I just lost my Tum Thum and Albertson, because Tum Thum and Albertson, they're one and the same now.
Okay, Mika said you need to dust that ceiling fan. All right, Mika, your final thought.
You a lot.
Don't give him no energy.
Let's see. Facebook users, I don't know who that is, but they said letting go of those grudges is easier said than done. But y'all right, it's for the best. No doubt.
Yes.
No doubt about it. All right, Mika, final thoughts.
I'm gonna end this show like I started it. I need a man. I want a man, and I'm gonna kiss him in his mouth.
It's coming.
Oh.
God,
knock it down.
I think I tickled her, and she knocked it down.
You don't have to dust that ceiling fan later. Being said,
my ceiling fan ain't dirty.
Yeah, that's why you coughing. That's probably why Bronx was sneezing there, because all that dust in that ceiling fan. Being said, I like the way Nicole says Tum Thum. How she say it?
How you say it?
Say Tum Thum.
Say it again.
Who said that, Ben?
Yeah.
Say it again.
I said Tum Thum.
She said Tom. I guess she said Tom. I guess he wants you to say Tom. She said Tom.
Yeah. What you want me to do? You want me to say it in Spanish?
Not Rolaids, but Tom.
No, that's not how I said it.
All right, Lily and Bronx, your final thoughts. Put that damn phone down or something. Man.
No, it just fell because I don't have a place to hold it.
You drop that phone one more time.
I did it on purpose now.
And it did it all
right, I'm gonna tell you like Wilma used to say to you.
Ain't nobody drinking either.
I'm gonna do like Wilma used to tell you. If you do it one more time, I'm gonna cut you.
I didn't do it intentionally. It failed every time because my stand is wobbly.
Yeah, you need to tighten some screws up there. Go ahead, Lily, your final thought.
Like I said, it's always from.
I know you didn't.
A place of hurt. When that said, I don't need no man. That comes from a place of hurt. But I think if you take the time to heal yourself and stop just getting place fillers after every broken relationship, that once you find the right one, you'll see that you need and want that man. So,
tell the girls and boys.
Let the church say amen, because
amen, hallelujah.
And Bronx said amen.
We're gonna start a GoFundMe. We're gonna start a GoFundMe for Bronx Hat Fund so he can keep his hats rolling. Until they get to kindergarten, because he ain't gonna be able to wear them there. Let's see. Linda said, I don't need one, but if the Lord send me one, I will take him.
Take him.
That's right.
And you gonna kiss him in his mouth like me can say, real good.
Real good.
Real good.
Well, and I know you're gonna be sitting on the couch next to him, rubbing on your jeans.
Oh my, don't do
And,
that.
and,
Oh my
and I'm gonna ask
God.
you something else on the trailer. When you have your man and it's time to cut the cake, is you gonna say cut me a tiny slice or are you
Tiny
gonna get a
slice.
regular slice?
That's why she told us she can't stand you.
Yeah.
That ain't what she say. She
Oh my.
said she goes, I love you, but I don't like you.
Yeah, I don't like you.
Being said pass the collection plate. All right. My final thoughts are, be true to yourself, and I'm gonna say this, okay? Just simply be careful what you speak, okay? Because you shall have what you say.
That's right.
All right. So in general, we too often just are careless with our words, and we say some of everything. So that's what I'm going to say is just be careful at what you speak because the lies you tell, you're going to start to believe them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And before we go, we have a Black-owned business of the week. So the Black-owned business of the week here is an escape room out of Highland Village, Texas. I've heard some good things about them. It turns out that this guy is actually Wilkes's cousin.
Oh,
Nice.
And
Y'all
Wilk
didn't know
didn't
that?
it. No, nobody
I
knew
didn't
it.
Oh,
We
cool.
played it last night on the forecast, and when we came back, Wilkes was like, "Hey, that's my cousin," whatever.
I love it.
So this is our Black-owned business of the week. So please check this out and support them.
New and now open in Highland Village.
Hi, I'm Latarsha,
And I'm JD.
and we are the owners of Room 5280 Escape Room here in Highland Village.
People always ask me, what is an escape room? Well, an escape room is a 60-minute adventure where you and a group of others are inside of a room and you're expected to solve the puzzles and everything inside of the room in order to escape. Here at Room 5280, we have 3 awesome themed rooms. There's the heist, where you actually break into a rich art collector's home, steal his money, and that's how you escape. We have the experiment. The experiment is actually my personal favorite. You conduct an actual experiment in order to escape from the room. And then there's the mystery, the Sherlock Holmes experience.
And in addition to those 3 themed rooms, behind this beautiful barn door, we have meeting rooms equipped to seat up to 30 individuals for your birthday parties, corporate events, bridal showers, or just a girls' night out. We also have a small intimate room that sits up to about 6 individuals that you can rent as well. And what sets us apart from some of the others is that we allow you to bring in your food and drinks for free.
So if you're looking for a great place for your next birthday party, your corporate team building event, make sure you try
Room 5280. And don't forget to book online.
Now cut that ribbon.
I love it.
I
What
like
love,
it.
yeah,
Go,
what I love
Tarsha,
about,
JD.
I
Yeah,
have
what
a
I love-
suggestion.
yeah, go ahead.
Can we don't be doing it like you like, what is she gonna say?
Yeah,
Why don't
I
we do
know.
this with the Caraways?
They
Like we
always
did with
trying to
the-
rival us.
Yeah, because they always
Well,
try
I
to-
don't think you can go. What you mean? Can you?
To
You
see
can't
who can
compete
get
against.
out. I mean, it'll be a
Well,
different
shit, I already
team.
know.
Yeah.
We gonna get out faster.
They
They gonna be in there arguing.
They gonna be in there
But it's still gonna be
arguing.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. And I gotta put that on the girls' dad. I saw Selena in that video with her picture.
Mhm.
I need
Yeah,
to
but
Selena.
what I like about it, this is a very unique business. When
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
think about Black-owned businesses and whatnot.
right.
So I'm really digging that. So yeah, support them. I'm gonna have to mess with JD with the way he was talking though in that commercial. Though.
No,
he was
you're not.
show, he
Leave
was
him alone.
troll, he was trying, he was show
Yeah, he
trying to
was
use
very-
his 9 to 5 voice, boy.
Go ahead,
Huh.
JD.
I like it. Hello, this is Nicole.
Hello.
He had on this is Nicole.
And then I
voice.
said, oh, hey, Alicia.
Hey, Trail, so that's a great idea. And Tracy laughing. Yeah, niche business is what BS3 said. All right. Well, hey, again, we appreciate you for tuning in to Queen3 King. We will be off next week because The king will be in these streets again, and don't you worry about what I got going on. Remember who said that? So we'll be back after that. Let's see. What this fool talk about Dawkins versus Caraway is coming soon. It ain't. we say Wilma kids versus the Caraways.
Yeah, we say Wilma.
Wilma kids.
Yeah,
Miss
he
Wilma.
don't know. He don't know. But all right. But hey, we appreciate y'all. We will see y'all next time
Thank y'all.
on another episode of Queen3 and King.
The Queen Bee has arrived.
You know. We'll show out then. So I'm gonna start with both of y'all's hands right here.
Look for my thumb.
Look for your thumb.
Like if you can